down from Shaw to Bathurst all weekend long. Also today, the Under Armour 10K shuts down the Lakeshore completely from Windermere to Bathurst, as well as Strawn and Fort York, both blocked off from Lakeshore to Fleet. Drivers heading Gardner should also keep in mind there will be no access to the Lakeshore using the ramp at Jameson. These closures for the Under Armour 10K are expected to last until just before noon. From the 680 Traffic Center, I'm Brandon DePon.
680 News Time, 8:35. If your weekend plans involve heading to High Park, keep in mind you may have to work around a planned subway closure on part of Line 2, the Bloor-Danforth line. There is no service today between Jane and Keele stations. The TTC says it's for planned track work. We do have shuttle buses running instead. The closure, though, just for today. Regular service is back tomorrow.
680 News Time is 8:36. Israel says it's returning fire following Iran's retaliatory strikes for Israel's targeting of Iran's nuclear program. Israel's defense minister says Tehran will burn if it continues firing missiles. Friday morning, Israel used warplanes as well as drones smuggled into Iran in advance to hit key facilities and kill top generals and its scientists. Iran's UN ambassador said 78 were killed, more than 300 wounded in those attacks. Meanwhile, officials say Israel's main international airport will be closed until further notice.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is visiting Ottawa today with the G7 Leaders Summit getting underway tomorrow in Alberta.
The summit starts Sunday against a backdrop of mounting tensions and violence in the Middle East, triggered by Israel's attack on Iranian missile and nuclear sites on Friday. Prime Minister Mark Carney, who's hosting the summit, will welcome Starmer tonight in Ottawa, and the two will meet Sunday morning before they both leave for Alberta. Now, Starmer's visit comes as the status of trade negotiations between Canada and the UK remains uncertain. It also comes after Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu suggested the two countries use the temporary post-Brexit deal. Rob Westgate, the Canadian Press.
Washington, D.C. is setting up for a parade celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army. The big question is whether it will be overshadowed or delayed by either the weather or planned protest. Colonel Steve Warren is the lead spokesperson for the U.S. Army.
We're not worried about the rain. In fact, I can tell you the tanks won't melt, our soldiers won't shrink, and we're looking forward to a great parade.
Following on Donald Trump's 79th birthday, the parade has triggered criticism for its price tag of upwards of $45 million. The possibility that the tanks involved could damage this Washington.
And that parade is triggering massive protests, not just in the U.S., but around the world. They're being called the No Kings rallies. More than 2,000 protests are planned across all 50 states. There is a protest planned for Toronto. It will happen at the U.S. consulate from noon until 3 this afternoon. There are rallies around the world, including in Spain as well as New Zealand.
In 30 seconds' time, we'll have a look-see at the morning gas prices.
680 News Time, 8:38.
Debt problems go away when you visit Chende.ca.
Do you feel like your debt is out of control? You make payments month after month, yet your debt grows larger and larger. I'm Mike Chande, a licensed insolvency trustee. I can help you break the chains of debt and be debt-free. Book a free consultation at chande.ca.
Debt problems go away when you visit Chende.ca.
Chande, C-H-A-N-D-E.
The Toronto gas price update. Empro says the price dropped a cent at midnight, $1.35.9 cents a litre at most GTA stations. 680 News Time is 8:39. Time for Cottage Country traffic on the nines. Good morning, Colette Desjardins.
John, good morning. And this report is brought to you by Lexus of Barrie. Speaking of Barrie, northbound 400 looks great through Barrie onto the 400 extension up to Perry Sound. Not seeing any problems. Highway 11, that's in great shape as well. Anywhere through Aurelia, Wishago, Severn Bridge, up to Bracebridge. Now, if you're traveling in the town of Minden, it's very, very busy. Some road closures. Why? Well, busy streets due to the annual Butter Tart Festival. Yes, teeth will be rattling with all that sugar. If you're heading on the eastbound 401, everything is looking good out to the 35-115. And if you're heading northbound on the 35-115, looks good up to the Kawartha Lakes and to Peterborough. Fort Erie bound on the QEW, can't forget that. Still looks good anywhere from the Burlington Skyway Bridge all the way down to Niagara Falls. With Cottage Country traffic on the nines, I'm Colette Paula Desjardins.
The Lexus of Barrie 5-day event, June 17th to 21st. Up to 2% off rates, up to $3,000 off in-stock vehicles. Details at lexusofbarrie.ca.
So a used car has caught your eye. Looks like it was in a pretty accident that damaged its... Was it reported stolen? The answer is, all in all, seems like a pretty deal. Fill in the blanks. Get the vehicle history report at Carfax.ca.
This summer, experience Toronto's historic castle like never before. With live music and dining in the stunning gardens of Casa Loma. Enjoy a casual meal al fresco in the iconic estate, named one of Canada's top 100 gardens. Take in the spectacular views of the city skyline, the majestic castle, and its elegant surroundings. Monday evenings, Casa Loma plays host to Symphony in the Gardens, featuring the Casa Loma Symphony Orchestra, led by Maestro Paulo Basato. Details at casaloma.ca.
Get unlimited grocery delivery with PC Express Pass. Meal prep, delivered. Snacks, delivered. Fresh fruit, delivered. Grocery delivery on repeat for just $2.50 a month. Learn more at pcexpress.ca.
680 News Times, 841. Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones with Brandon DuPont.
This report brought to you by Crown Royal, and right now you are looking at very nice drive across many of your major highway routes over top of the city along the 401, looking pretty good. No real delays, maybe a little bit slower, this being going westbound side of that 401 from West Young to approaching the Allen and the Express. Obviously, right lane blocked that, though, for long-term construction, so not causing any delay really along the approach towards where the construction project is happening, so shouldn't be too much to worry about, at least not as of yet. But if you are using the eastbound Gardner, should keep in mind that it is delayed because of long-term road work. And on top of that, you do have the Lakeshore closed down for a pretty large portion. So eastbound Gardner right now, you are looking at a delay backing you up from Parkside. Westbound Gardner also seeing delays starting just about at Bathurst. And then quick update on the southbound DVP. Everything is wrapped up. That grass cutting that once was there. So it seems like it was some moving maintenance. They were doing the grass cutting along that southbound side of the Don Valley Parkway, but that is all gone. Canada's favorite whiskey, Crown Royal Deluxe, save $2.50 on 750 milliliter bottles until June 21st. Drink responsibly, 19 plus. Time for the forecast with meteorologist Carl Lamb.
All right. Well, it's a nice and sunny day out there. You know, we've had so many crummy weekends so far this spring. Let's enjoy a really nice one. 22 for today with sunshine and that easterly wind around 20 kilometers per hour, gusts up to about 40. And tonight, partly cloudy down to a low of 12. Then for tomorrow, it's sun and cloud for Father's Day. Really no issues. I mean, again, it's very comfortable. 24 for the high. That's right on target with where we should be for this time of year. And then down to 14 degrees tomorrow night. The heat and humidity, though, those are going to both increase as we go into the start of the work week. And you'll definitely notice it's trending towards summer as summer begins on Friday. Right now, it is 16 at Pearson. Your guaranteed high is 22.
680 News Time, 8:43.
In theaters this weekend, there's good news for you romantic types.
Hoping you say I was different.
Why?
Guess then I wouldn't be the guy that lost you.
Materialists stars Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal. It's directed by Celine Song, whose last movie, Past Lives, was up for Best Picture a few years ago.
Toothless. It's okay. I won't hurt you.
If that's not your thing, there's also How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action remake of the animated kids movie from 2010. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
We'll have a check of the top stories in sports in 60 seconds.
The all-new 2025 Kicks isn't just a bold new vehicle on the road. It's Nissan's #1 selling subcompact SUV. With expressive style and advanced tech, Kicks is #1. Right now, finance an all-new Kicks from just 0.49% for up to 24 months. A top choice, with an offer that's hard to beat. Hurry into your local dealer and drive away in the all-new Nissan Kicks. Includes 0.5% loyalty reduction for qualifying Nissan owners. Conditions apply. See Nissan.ca for details.
Babyface. Live. And hits. With the 13-time Grammy Award winner. Babyface. Saturday, August 16th. OLG stage at Falls View Casino. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Babyface in concert.
The more you listen,
the more you'll know. 680 News Radio.
Sunshine downtown Toronto, currently 16 degrees at Pearson. Good morning. I'm John Leatherby.
And I'm Irene Precklett. Here are the top stories this hour.
A taste of Little Italy, the highlight of Saturday's events in Toronto and across the GTA this day. With that, there's road closures in place around College Street. We'll have the latest for you coming up in just a few moments. As well, leaders of the G7 countries making their way to Alberta for the conference that begins tomorrow. Time for sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Colin Teskey.
Well, we are all tied in the NBA Finals at 2 games apiece. The Oklahoma City Thunder defeating the Pacers in Indianapolis 111-104 in Game 4. And Canadian Shai Gilgeous-Alexander front and center again. He had 35 points in the victory. So the series now tied at 2. Game 5 is back in Oklahoma City on Monday. Meantime, not the start the Blue Jays were looking for against the Phillies in their opener of the series. They fall 8-0.
And he chops at the 1-1. It dribbles off Walker's glove, but it squirts over to second base and tossing it to first to record the out. Stott to Kemp to end the game.
Eric Smith with the call on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. The Blue Jays and Phillies will continue their series later today. Bassis will get the ball for Toronto going up against Christopher Sanchez. Also some good Jays news. Max Scherzer pitched his rehab start in Buffalo. His fastball topped 94 miles per hour. He lasted 4 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 earned runs. U.S. Open third round at Oakmount continues today. And just like he did the Canadian Open, Sam Burns atop the leaderboard. The American fired a -5 on one of the toughest courses on tour in round 2. He has a 1-stroke lead at -3 for the tournament. He's ahead of J.J. Spawn and Victor Hovland, who are behind him sitting at -2 and -1, respectively. While in the Canadian Football League, the Montreal Alouettes extended their win streak over the Ottawa Redblacks to 11 straight games at TD Place in Ottawa, picking up a 39-18 win. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
McDonald's summer drink days are back, which means it's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small Coca-Cola or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Whoa. Summer's booming with summer drink days. Excludes flavored iced coffee at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Excellence. It's not just a goal, it's our legacy. At Miele, we pride ourselves on being the industry leader for timeless German-engineered appliances. I'm Nelson Fresco, President and CEO of Miele Canada, inviting you to experience the extraordinary. Until June 26th during our spring sales event, save 10% on your purchase and enjoy a free 5-year warranty. Visit your local retailer or Miele.ca. Once a Miele, always a Miele.
Discover downtown Toronto's most stylish new destination, Tour Hotel. Enjoy breathtaking city and lake views from every room and unwind at Muse Bistro and Bar. Your urban retreat awaits. Book your stay at tourhotel.com.
680 News Time, 8:48.
It's time for our 680 News Radio Athlete of the Week, Simon Bennett, meeting one of thousands who took part in last weekend's Ride to Conquer Cancer, a man who did it at 85 years young.
Thousands take part in the ride every year to raise money for Princess Margaret Cancer Center. 200 kilometers on the bike from Toronto to Niagara. Dennis Starkey first showed interest 10 years ago.
I guess I wasn't feeling all that great about myself. It really caught my attention, and I thought, wow, they seem to be having fun out there. I decided that I would sign up for it. At that point, I didn't even own a bike. As I was waiting for my 75th birthday, I wasn't feeling all that great about the condition I was in.
In the decades since, he has beaten colon cancer and lung cancer. Now a full-fledged survivor, the ride has taken on a much bigger meaning.
I attribute my success at becoming a cancer survivor due to the early identification message that is being advertised to us all. And I feel that it's something that I should be doing to pay back.
So how do you prep for this at 85?
Trying to ride my bike at least 3 times a week and putting in some mileage. But I must admit that electric bike does help a lot.
I'm Simon Bennett.
680 News Times, 8:49. College Country traffic on the 9s with Colette Desjardins.
Thanks, John. This report brought to you by Access Storage. If you're Fort Erie bound on the Fort Erie bound right now on the QEW. Everything is still looking good from the Burlington Skyway Bridge all the way down to the Peace Bridge. But at Thompson Road, we've got the left lane shut down for construction. Just keep in mind this weekend, the Lincoln Alexander Parkway is going to be closed both ways all weekend long, and that's for maintenance. So that might interrupt your drive. If you're heading right now up to the 400 northbound up to Barrie, everything is looking good right now. Highway 11, that was in great shape anywhere from Aurelia all the way up to Huntsville. Haven't spotted any problems or delays. Taking a look at Highway 27, the scenic route, that's pretty good. If you're going to be going to Midland today, just expect road closures. It's all you can eat butter tarts. It's their annual butter tart festival. That attracts a lot of people. And eastbound 401 still looks good out to the 35, 115. With Cottage Country traffic on the 9s, I'm Colette Desjardins.
Move over, winter gear. It's time for summer. Make room with Access Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca.
Aero Furniture, making you feel at home.
Refresh your home with beautiful new furniture during Aero Furniture's Redefine Your Space event. Modern, traditional, formal, casual. Find your style and save up to 60% on select items, plus take 24 months to pay. For a limited time at all 3 GTA locations.
Aero Furniture, making you feel at home.
Conditions apply. Visit aerofurniture.com. That's aerofurniture.com.
Need to send money in another currency? With Wise, you can send money internationally without hidden fees. From dollars to dong, pounds to pesos, euros to yen, you could save up to 3 times compared to major banks. Send money with Wise in more than 40 currencies without getting ripped off. See how much you could save. Download the Wise app today. Wise, the app for doing things in other currencies. Terms and conditions apply.
680 News Time, 8:51.
Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones with Brandon DePont.
This report brought to you by the Simple Investor. Right now, things looking pretty good across our major highway routes. A little bit delayed within construction areas. Not so much on the approach unless you're traveling along the eastbound Gardner. Let's start off on the 401. So, again, very slight delays. This being more so in the Express. The Collector's moving pretty well. They're both moving well for the most part, but a little bit more delayed, more so eastbound 401 in the Express, right about from Islington towards Weston in the Express, then pretty good basically the rest of the way, all the way out into the Durham region. If you're traveling on the westbound 401, again, that is long-term construction, but that also moving pretty well. So again, keep in mind, west of Yonge to approaching the Allen in the Express, you got the right lane blocked there for that long-term road work. Southbound DVP, that is getting a tad bit delayed. So from south of Lawrence to approaching Winford, lane realignment. So starting to see a delay develop here from about south of the 401. And then if you're on the Gardner westbound side of things, that starts to slow from Spadina. And if you're on the eastbound side, long-term road work will have you bogged down from Parkside. Is now a good time to buy investment real estate? Yes, at the Simple Investor. They make sure you get rent every month, have no tenant interaction, no repair costs. Find out more at thesimpleinvestor.com. Time for the forecast with Carl Lamb.
Okay, well, today is going to be a lovely day all across the GTA. Enjoy a slightly cooler day, 22 for that guaranteed high, and then down to 12 degrees tonight. You know, the wind, it will get up to about 40 kilometers per hour for the gusts, but that really is just through the afternoon. And then for tomorrow, sun and cloud in 24, and then Monday, sun and cloud in 25. The difference for Monday night is that the clouds are back, and it doesn't allow us to cool down very much. 17 for the low on Monday night. Then for Tuesday, rain and, well, possible thunderstorms later in the day, cloudy, and 28 with a humidex of 34, but then those overnight lows just down to 19, so getting pretty sticky. Right now, it is 16 at Pearson. Your guaranteed high is 22.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Nav Badia's Hyundai. Visit Nav Badia's 3 super fan locations at Rexdale, Streetsville, and Mississauga Hyundai.
Looking for a Hyundai? I'm your guy.
Visit NavBadiasHyundai.com today.
Tonight on Sportsnet, Hockey Central gets you prepped for Game 5. Then, after a dramatic comeback in Game 4, the game is tied! The Oilers rallied to turn the tide and win the game in overtime.
Leon Draisaitl, the biggest goal of his Oiler career.
Now the series shifts back north.
The ups and the downs, the emotions of playoff hockey.
Can the Oilers maintain the momentum at home?
The Stanley Cup Final. Watch on Sportsnet. Stream on Sportsnet Plus.
No more. Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Trust the #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
680 News Radio, Toronto. The Stanley Cup Final.
Fight for Lord Stanley's mug all tied up as the teams head back north. 680's Colin Teskey now with a preview.
Well, the Stanley Cup Final continues to be an instant classic. The Oilers and Panthers will play Game 5 this evening, where the series is tied 2-2 with the series shifting back to Edmonton. And 3 of the 4 games have gone to overtime. And the Oilers, the victor of the last one, thanks to Leon Draisaitl scoring the game winner in extra time. And Oilers head coach Chris Knobloch made a bold move, pulling Stuart Skinner in Game 4 after falling behind 3-0. And Calvin Pickard came in and was absolutely fantastic for the Oilers. Pickard now is 7-0 in games he has started in the playoffs. In Game 5, Oilers and Panthers will drop the puck tonight at 8 p.m. From the Sports Center, I'm Colin Teskey.
Well, tonight, a Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter from Toronto to help rebrand a popular downtown music venue. Scott Burnett.
If you love me, baby, let me hear you say
R&B sensation and Scarborough's own Daniel Caesar will take to the stage tonight at the new and improved Mod Club. Yeah, you heard that right. The live music staple on College Street in Little Italy is celebrating a return to its original name. Fans of live music in the city know it well. The Mod Club opening up in 2002, enticing up-and-coming superstars like The Weeknd, The Killers, Lana Del Rey, looking for a place to strut their stuff. It was forced to close, though, in 2020 because of, you guessed it, COVID lockdowns, but reopened the following year under new management and a new name, the Access Club. But that journey has come to an end, and it's time to get back to its roots, rebranding as the Mod Club. Welcome home. I'm Scott Burnett.
New York Regional Police hit the links for charity this week, taking part in the 35th Annual York Regional Police Association Memorial Tournament at Pheasant Run Golf Club in Sharon. This year's proceeds going to the Community Living Central York, as well as the YRPA Benevolent Fund. We'll have weekend business next.
Roto-Rooter is #1 in the #2 business. Not #4, but #1 in the #2, and we've been that way since 1935. We're #1 in emergency plumbing repair, #1 in sewage backup, and #1 in basement flooding, water damage cleanup, and customer satisfaction. Pain in the drain? Remember the name. Roto-Rooter. Call 1-800-GET-ROTO today.
Go troubles down the drain.
Now, more than ever, it's important to support our fellow Canadians. Whether that's supporting local businesses or investing in your own goals, Capital Direct has been investing in Canadian homeowners for 20 years now, all with Canadian investment. Use your home's value so you can support your business, renovate your home, or simplify your debts. How would you use $80,000, $280,000, or even $2.8 million? Call 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL today.
Ontario Mortgage Broker 10549 and MIN 11408.
CapitalDirect.ca.
Weekend business, a presentation of Dynamic Funds.
After years of missed deadlines and delays, Tesla says that barring any sudden safety concerns, it'll unveil its long-promised self-driving robo-taxi on Sunday, June 22nd.
So what we're expecting to see are unsupervised versions of Tesla's suite of driver assist systems known as full self-driving.
That's David Welch, Bloomberg's Detroit bureau chief, who says it'll be a giant step forward for Tesla.
It's a big leap in the sense that we haven't seen them out there in the public domain driving amongst all of the pedestrians, good and bad human drivers, drunk drivers, fire trucks, police cars, pets, you name it, that we all have to deal with every day.
So will those robo-taxis be ready?
The worry here is that Tesla has not run these vehicles without a human driver behind the wheel for years, or in the way that Waymo has, or even General Motors Cruise before that.
And hopefully we'll soon find out just how prepared Tesla is. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
McDonald's Sundaes and snack-sized shakes are $2, or get $1 cones exclusively on the McDonald's app. With those prices, your hands are going to be full of treats. Like Alex here.
My phone.
I got you. App download and registration required. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Running a business in Canada? Name even one thing you love about your bank. I'll wait. Thought so. Meet Float. Built in and for Canada, Float gives you fast access to corporate cards, bill payments, foreign exchange, and expense tools made for this century. Oh, and did we mention up to 4% interest on your balance? Turns out there is something to love. It's just not your bank. Get started in as little as 24 hours at floatfinancial.com.
Mark's Can't Miss Summer event is on now. Until June 18th, save up to 60% on a wide selection of styles perfect for summer, including sandals, shorts, polos, dresses, and more. Can't Miss Summer event on now at marksandmarks.com.
680 News Time, 8:59. Country traffic on the 9s with Colette Desjardins.
This report brought to you by Wayne's Auto Group. Northbound 400 looks great up to Barrie. No problems on the eastbound 401 out to the 35 115. With Cottage Country traffic on the 9s, I'm Colette Desjardins.
680 News Time is 9 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio, Toronto.
Good morning. This is Saturday, June 14th. I'm Irene Precklett.
I'm John Leatherby. Here's what's making news this hour.
The weekend weather is cooperating in Toronto for the long list of outdoor festivals, which also means some detours for drivers.
War of words and the missiles continuing between Israel and Iran.
The finishing touches are being done as Alberta gets ready to host the G7 summit.
And happening today, a massive military parade taking over the streets of Washington, D.C., with protests also expected.
Blue Jays continue their series with the Phillies. We've got Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, plus Round 3 of the U.S. Open continues. Sports at 15.
680 News Times, 9:01.
Time for Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Brandon DuPont.
Thank you very much, guys. Right now, looking at a couple of our major highway routes. Just got report eastbound 401 approaching Avenue and the Express. Got the center lane as well as the right lane with some debris. So again, not exactly sure what it is, but debris reported there. So just something to keep in mind. We're going to give out a call towards MTO, see if they can spot said debris. But it most definitely is. Now, starting to cause a little bit of delay. It seems as though MTO do have it slightly on cam here. Actually, tough to tell exactly what it is, but definitely is causing a delay in the Express, kind of backing everyone up from approaching the Allen. So actually approaching Dufferin, that is now actually. So again, just something to keep in mind there. It is slowing down the drive. So MTO most likely are aware of this one. They'll be sending out some crews shortly. Southbound DVP, it is delayed because of lane realignment between south of Lawrence to approaching Winford. So backing up from south of the 401. However, the ramp to Bayview Bloor, it seems as though there may be something happening there, as there is a heavier delay, that being from south of Don Mills. Westbound Gardner, again, long-term construction backing up from Spadina. Eastbound side of things, again, also backed up for the exact same reason, but it starts from Parkside. Once again, this report is brought to you by Richmond Hill Toyota. Right now, Richmond Hill Toyota is loading up their inventory with North America's best sellers, including more than 48 RAV4s. Get in and go at Richmond Hill Toyota. Time for the forecast with Carl Lamb.
Okay, so we have sunshine across the GTA this morning. A beautiful one out there. That nice breeze out of the northeast. Gusts are up to about 30 kilometers per hour. 17 right now out of Pearson. Guaranteed high today, 22. And then for tonight, we'll have temperatures dropping down to 12 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. A really nice weekend around the GTA and up into Cottage Country as well. Right now, 17 again and sunny. Your guaranteed high is 22.
680 News Times, 9:03.
Here's a nice change. It's sunny with seasonal temperatures in Toronto this weekend, and the timing of this great weather, absolutely perfect. We've got lots to do, including many events that are outdoors.
And of course, because of this perfect weather, you know who you can thank for this. That would be our 680 meteorologist, Carl Lamb, who says the weather should hold up for your outdoor plans.
Lots going on across the city this weekend. Of course, the Taste of Little Italy is going on, and we also have the Toronto International Dragon Boat Race Festival, just to name a couple of items. But the weather is going to cooperate. It's going to be comfortable, not all that hot. It will be a little bit breezy today, but overall, it looks great.
Among some of your other choices, Beaches Rib Fest, North by Northeast, and tomorrow for Father's Day, we've got an exotic car show taking place in Yorkville. Full list of the weekend events at toronto.citynews.ca.
Of course, some of the events do feature road closures. 680's Brandon DuPont has your What You Need to Know.
Fitness, fun, and beautiful views of the city's scenic waterfront is what runners are enjoying this morning as the Under Armour 10K races through the Lakeshore. Until 11:30 this morning, the Lakeshore will be off limits for drivers from Windermere to Bathurst. Additionally, Strawn and Fort York will be shut down as well from Lakeshore to Fleet. Elsewhere, the Taste of Little Italy closes down Bloor from Shaw to Bathurst. Bloor will be reopened early Monday morning. Meanwhile, between 4:30 and 9:30 tomorrow morning, the Yorkville Exotic Car Show will close Bloor from Avenue to Yonge. From the 680 Traffic Center, I'm Brandon DuPont.
680 News Time, 9:05. The back and forth continues between Iran and Israel, and we're learning it will likely affect planned talks this weekend between Iran and the U.S. Iran's top diplomat says those talks are unjustifiable after its nuclear program and armed forces were hit by a barrage of Israeli attacks yesterday. Iran retaliated with its own strikes. Israel says its offense will continue, with its defense minister warning if Iran keeps firing missiles, quote, Tehran will burn.
All News Radio Times 9:05. This year's G7 Leaders Summit getting underway tomorrow in Alberta. The Prime Minister will be joined by leaders of the other G7 countries, which includes President Donald Trump, as well as other select world leaders. Among the topics expected to be on the agenda, the Middle East and the U.S. trade war.
More than 6,000 U.S. troops will march near the National Mall in Washington today to honor the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary. The parade also just happens to fall on President Donald Trump's birthday. It was added a few weeks ago to the Army's long-planned celebration at a price tag of up to $45 million.
Organizers are hoping it's the largest single-day mobilization since Donald Trump returned to the White House. Millions expected to take to the streets with nearly 2,000 No Kings protests, which are planned across the U.S. during today's military parade in Washington. Also, of course, the president's birthday. There is a protest planned in this city at the U.S. consulate from noon until 3 this afternoon, and rallies around the globe, which include Spain and New Zealand.
After the devastating Air India crash earlier in the week that killed hundreds, the flight data recorder has been recovered as investigators tried to piece together exactly what happened. ABC's James Longman has more.
This is the first ever crash of a Boeing 787. Authorities recovered the black boxes of the Air India jet inside the tail, wedged into a building.
Krish lives here. He was playing cricket with friends when the plane came down.
Mind-blowing. I never seen in my life this type of scenes.
241 people on board killed.
A woman from Toronto believed to have died in the crash.
680 News Time, 9:07.
The Stanley Cup Final.
After an instant classic on Thursday, Oilers-Panthers squaring off in Game 5 this evening. Here's 680's Colin Teskey.
Oilers and Panthers getting set for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final back in Alberta tonight, with the series tied at 2 games apiece. And in Game 4, Oilers head coach Chris Knoblauch making the tough decision to pull Stuart Skinner after 3 goals in the first and put Calvin Pickard back in net.
We make that switch and Picks comes in and makes some huge saves. So, it's nice that we've got a nice tandem, that they're going back and forth, and each one of them has been really solid for us.
So the head coach not tipping his cap to who will get the start in Game 5 for the Oilers, but all signs point to Calvin Pickard, who is now 7-0 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. From the Sports Center, I'm Colin Teskey.
And it is going to be sunny and seasonal today. Well, perhaps a good day for a swim. The city of Toronto, 15 of its outdoor pools open at 10 this morning. Among the pools that will open, the Donald D. Somerville Olympic Pool, as well as Sunnyside. Coming up in 60 seconds, gas prices and cottage country traffic.
Saturday and Sunday, they've got something big in store at your Rona. They pay the taxes when you spend $100 or more. Now that is big. Whether you're doing quick updates or starting a bigger home improvement project, Rona has got you covered. Find everything you need from painting to flooring to decking items. So don't miss out. Stop by Rona until Sunday because they're paying the taxes for you when you spend $100 or more. Talk about a big deal. Regular price items only. Certain conditions apply.
Now the News Radio Toronto gas price update. Empro says the price dropped 1 cent at midnight to $1.35.9 a liter. News Time. time, 9:09. Time for Cottage Country traffic on the 9s. Here's Colette Desjardins.
Thanks, Irene. Good morning. This report is brought to you by Foodland. And just having a look right now at the northbound 400, still looking great up to Barrie. And once you get on to the extension up to McTier, Perry Sound. Northbound Highway 11, haven't seen any problems anywhere from the split up to Gravenhurst. Don't forget, if you're going to be in the town of Midland, it's Ontario's best butter tart festival to take over Midland. So expect road closures, a slower drive through there. Eastbound 401, not seeing any delays out to the 35-115 and again out towards Belleville. Now, if you're Fort Erie bound on the QEW, everything is still looking good, moving well from the Burlington Skyway Bridge all the way down to Niagara Falls. Just closer to the Peace Bridge, Thompson Road, there was construction in the left lane. And don't forget, of course, in Hamilton, the Lincoln-Alexander Parkway shut down both ways, and that is for maintenance work all weekend long. With Cottage Country traffic on the 9s, I'm Colette Desjardins.
At Foodland, see what we locals have picked for you. Like 100% Canadian beef burgers made fresh in store. Our finds, your new favorites.
Hey, so what did you want to talk about?
Well, I want to tell you about Wegovy.
Wegovy?
Yeah, Wegovy.
What about it?
On second thought, I might not be the right person to tell you.
Oh, you're not?
No, just ask your doctor about
Wegovy.
Yeah, ask for it by name.
Okay, so why did you bring me to this circus?
Oh, I'm really into lion tamers. You know, with the chair and everything.
Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Exclusions may apply.
Driving somewhere fun this summer? Don't let a chip in your windshield ruin your plans. At Speedy Glass, we know that a small chip can spread fast and turn a simple repair into a full replacement. But the good news? We can fix it in just 60 minutes. And it's free if you're insured. So before you hit the highway, stop by Speedy Glass. And if you need us while you're on the road, we have locations all across Canada. Just book an appointment at speedyglass.ca. Details and conditions at speedyglass.ca.
Speedy Glass Replace.
680 News Time, 9:11. Time for Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Brandon DuPont.
Thank you very much. Dealing with construction, long-term construction, that is most definitely causing quite a bit of delays along a number of our major highway routes. This report brought to you by Don Valley North Lexus. So we'll start off on the eastbound side of the 401. This, however, not related to construction, but debris. Eastbound 401 looks like MTO found it. So approaching Avenue in the Express, it's 2 lanes that seemingly are occupied with this debris. So again, approaching Avenue in the Express seems like the left lane, and then as well a little bit of the center lane, more so the far left lane, again occupied by this debris. It is backing you up from the Allen in the Express, so keep that in mind. And then westbound 401 west of Yonge to approaching the Allen in the Express, right lane blocked for long-term road work. Seems like it is just kind of bogging people down within that actual stretch, not so much on the approach. So that good news. Southbound DVP already busy from south of the 401 towards Winford, where there is the wrapping up of lane realignment at that spot. So it's between south of Lawrence to approaching Winford. Then south of that, we've got a kind of a weird delay from south of Don Mills to Bayview Bloor. Again, unsure exactly what's happening. Seems as though there may be maintenance, maybe a crash, maybe stalled vehicle. Can't see it on my cameras, and Toronto Transportation unaware of anything on their ends, no reports. So if you feel free to give us a call at star 680, love to hear from you and let us know what you see. Westbound Gardner, long-term construction, it is delayed from approaching Spadina Hill westbound. Eastbound Gardner, very slow starting from approaching Parkside. And then for those out in Hamilton, Lincoln Alexander Parkway, all closed all weekend long from the 403 towards Red Hill for maintenance. The Lexus 5-day event is coming soon at Don Valley North Lexus. Receive a 1.5% rate reduction and a $1,000 delivery credit on a 2025 RX 350 premium package. Visit DonValleyNorthLexus.com. Now at the forecast, Carl Lamb.
Okay, so beautiful sunshine out there this morning and a nice refreshing breeze, and at least it's going to stay dry today. That's something we haven't said a lot so far this spring. We've had a lot of rainy Saturdays, but today is not one of them. 22 for the guaranteed high, down to an overnight low of 12 degrees for tomorrow. Sun and cloud and 24, a beautiful Father's Day on the way. And again, tomorrow's comfortable. We've had some really hot Father's Days in the past. not so much as we go into tomorrow. Right now, it's 17 at Pearson. Your guaranteed high is 22.
680 News Time, 9:14.
Well, you can swap horsepower for pedal power in Toronto today. It is Bike for Free Day. Tangerine Bank and the Toronto Parking Authority offering free rides all day. You do have to download the Bike Share Toronto app to access the free pass. Coming up in 60 seconds, your day's top stories and sports. This is 680 News.
Linen Chest presents an extraordinary campaign that you don't see till the Black Friday events. 10 days, each day with a spectacular product with an offer you can't refuse. Today's offer, Cuisinart 5-Cup Coffee Maker. This compact design features the brew pause and the automatic shutoff. The stainless steel carafe is crafted with a dripless pour spout. For today and tomorrow only, save 50% on this Cuisinart 5-Cup Coffee Maker for only $49.99. Hurry to Linen Chest for an offer you can't refuse.
Life's noisy enough. Everything demands your attention. So here's something rare. Silence. It's underappreciated. Kind of like windows from Magic. You simply unlock the handle and push them open all the way. No cranks, no problems. While others add to the noise, Magic cuts right through it. Find out more at magicwindow.ca.
Toronto's trusted news. 680 News Radio.
What a beautiful morning out there. We've got mainly sunny skies, 17 degrees. Good morning. I'm Irene Precklett.
I'm John Leatherby. Here's a check of the morning's top stories.
Well, the list of things to do in Toronto and the surrounding area is long. You might say it's a question of so much to do, so little time. We've got a taste of Little Italy, Rib Fest, the Dragon Boat Festival. Now, with those festivals, we do have some road closures, so be sure to stay tuned to traffic every 10 minutes on the ones. And a full list of this weekend's events, you can see that at toronto.citynews.ca. Israel says it's returning fire following Iran's retaliatory strikes for Israel's targeting of Iran's nuclear program. Israel's defense minister warns Tehran will burn if it continues firing missiles. And Alberta getting ready to host the G7. The leaders will be arriving tomorrow. Time now for sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Colin Teskey.
No extra rest day as the Stanley Cup Final resumes tonight in Alberta's capital, with the Edmonton Oilers hosting the Florida Panthers for Game 5, with the series tied at 2 games apiece. And 3 of these 4 games have gone to overtime. We've had 32 goals scored in total in what has been a sensational Stanley Cup Final so far between these two teams. Oilers are expected to start Calvin Pickard in net for Game 5. Pickard came on in relief of Stuart Skinner after the first period in Game 4, and is a perfect 7-0 in these playoffs so far. Puck drop is set for 8 p.m. Blue Jays will look for a bounce-back effort against the Phillies following an 8-0 loss in their series opener last night. Bowden Francis gets the ball against Christopher Sanchez. First pitch will fly at 4:05 Eastern. Listen on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and watch on Sportsnet 1. Round 3 of the U.S. Open continues at the humbling course of Oakmount. Despite the difficult course, though, American Sam Burns managed to post a -5 in round 2. That vaulted him into the lead. J.J. Spawn, 1 stroke back, sitting at -2 overall. Well, the Argos gearing up for their home opener in the Canadian Football League as they get set to welcome the Calgary Stampeders and also unveil their 2024 Grey Cup banner. 4 p.m. kickoff down at BMO Field. Women's soccer, AFC Toronto gets set to face Calgary at 5 p.m. And UFC Fight Night about to get underway later this evening. Kamaru Usman taking on Joaquin Buckley in the main card. You can watch all the action on Sportsnet 360 starting at 10 p.m. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
Where style meets performance, a new journey begins. Genesis delivers bold elegance and cutting-edge innovation.
From courtside to luxury rides, go where the basketball stars shine, on the road.
Visit genesismississauga.ca today for an experience centered around you.
Real Canadian Superstore has a sweet deal just in time for Father's Day. From June 12th to 18th, pick up some juicy blueberries at $2.49 for 340 grams. Perfect for pancakes, parfaits, or straight from the bag. Conditions apply. See flyer for details.
Oh, such a clutch pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom, too. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Blinds.com is the trusted name in custom window treatments. Blinds.com.
Time 9:19. Time for Cottage Country traffic on the 9s. Here's Colette Desjardins.
Thanks, Irene. This report brought to you by your local Ontario Subaru dealer. Starting to see delays now on the northbound 400 through Barrie. It's just through Essa Road. And if you're traveling on the Highway 11, everything is still looking good from the split all the way past Aurelia up to Gravenhurst. Don't forget, if you're going to be in the town of Midland, road closures, and that's because of the Butter Tart Festival that's taking place today. Eastbound on the 401, no problem. Still looking good out to the 35-115 and to the Belleville area. Fort Erie bound on the QEW, everything's still looking good from the Burlington Skyway Bridge. I'm keeping my eye on that construction we have in St. Catharines at 7th Street. It's brutal because it causes quite the backup, but everything is moving well through that area. And don't forget, in Hamilton, the Lincoln Alexander Parkway shut down both ways, and that is for maintenance work all weekend long. With Cottage Country traffic on the 9s, I'm Colette Desjardins.
Head to your local Subaru dealer for lease rates from 1.99% for 24 months on select models. See dealer for details.
Measles is spreading. The good news is that the measles vaccine is safe, highly effective, and can provide lifelong protection. Contact your local public health unit to check your vaccination status or book a vaccine appointment today. Visit ontario.ca/measles to learn more. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
For over 85 years, Rona has been part of the Canadian trades community. Now we're saying thank you by giving back. For the foreseeable future, we're donating 85% of our ad space to small trades businesses, completely free of charge. That includes our radio spots. It's just one way we're supporting the people who build this country. One job, one project, one day at a time. Learn more at ronacanadiantrades.ca. Build it right. Build it Rona.
At Copa's Fresh Market, their backyard fresh produce program ensures they carry locally and Ontario-grown fresh produce. This week, get fresh sweet golden pineapples, product of Costa Rica, for $2.99 each. Copa's Fresh Market, family operated since 1963. Visit copas.com.
680 News Time, 9:21.
That is time for Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the 1s. Here's Brandon DuPont.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This report right now, it is looking pretty good. Starting off here, this is brought to you by Mark Feldstein and Associates. So let's go towards that eastbound 401. Debris reported, and it seems like it's still here. MTO are aware of it. This is eastbound 401 approaching Avenue. In the Express, it's the far left lane now that is occupied by that debris. Unsure exactly what it is, maybe a car part, but regardless, it is getting drivers to try and maneuver around it. They're trying to use the left shoulder to get around this said debris, so it is causing a delay from the Allen in the Express. Southbound 404 DVP combo, again, lane realignment happening from South Lawrence to approaching Winford, so it's backing you up from south of the 401, and then delays from south of Don Mills all the way towards Bayview Bloor, because along the ramp to Bayview Bloor, partially blocked due to a stopped vehicle, or rather a couple of stopped vehicles. So again, keeping our eyes on that at the moment, but again, just something to keep in mind as it is a slower drive along that southbound DVP. Troublesome there, also of course troublesome, but pretty much given, as we all know, long-term construction, but also a large portion of the lakeshore shut down, so drivers limited with their options. You have westbound Gardner all busy, starting from approaching Spadina. Eastbound Gardner, that starts to slow basically from east of Humber Bridge, so not looking good there whatsoever. For all your personal and corporate tax accounting needs, call Mark Feldstein and Associates, Chartered Professional Accountants. Visit markfeldstein.ca. Markfeldstein.ca. Time for the forecast with Carl Lamb.
All right, so it's a nice weekend across the GTA. Very comfortable, not unbearably hot. 22 today is the guaranteed high. Sunshine, and that easterly wind could gust up to about 40 kilometers per hour. But that's really the main obstacle for today weather-wise. Then for tomorrow, it is going to be sun and cloud and 24. And then for Monday, sun and cloud and 25. Now, the problem with what's coming our way is that heat and humidity. It'll also linger into the evenings as well. 17 19 for the low on Monday night. Then for Tuesday, cloudy, rain showers in the afternoon and evening, some thunderstorms possible. 28 will feel like 34, and then it will drop down to 19 on Tuesday night. So it's going to be pretty sticky and muggy. Right now, it is 17 at Pearson. Your guaranteed high is 22.
680 News Times, 924.
Performance Auto Group's 36th annual two-day sale is back, and so are the deals. Lease or finance from 0%. Yes, 0. Plus loyalty incentives, maximum trade-in value, and exclusive store offers. Thousands of new, pre-owned, and demo vehicles in stock and ready when you are. Rev up your savings and upgrade your ride this summer. The 36th annual two-day sale, today only, at all Performance Auto Group retailers. Details at performance.ca/two-day sale.
This is 680 News. It's weekend watch list time. There are some new streaming options out there.
Bryce Dallas Howard stars in a new action comedy on Amazon Prime Video called Deep Cover. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back for season 2 of the action series Fubar on Netflix. And on Apple TV Plus, there's Echo Valley.
Claire, what's going on? What did you do?
Julianne Moore and Sydney Sweeney play a mother and daughter hiding a dark secret in the new drama. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Well, this year's World Naked Bike Ride is happening this weekend in Toronto and other cities worldwide. As the name suggests, clothing not required. The 16-kilometer route starts at Coronation Park at 1 this afternoon. Coming up, your weekend business report.
Oh, it's such a clutch pickup, Dave.
I know, right? I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
Oh, no, I meant those blackout motorized shades. MVP of the room.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. Even you could do it.
Nice.
I installed these and then got some for my mom, too.
What, you fly across the country to do the install?
Nope. Blinds.com can do it all. All she had to do was pick what she wanted. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Look at you, Hall of Fame son.
Oh, I just picked the winning team. They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Oh, Blinds.com is the GOAT.
The GOAT.
He shoots. He scores.
Save up to 50% with minimum purchase at Blinds.com. And a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Save up to 50% at Blinds.com. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
In Sweden, minimalism doesn't mean boring. It means removing the unnecessary and perfecting what remains. Polestar 3, the electric SUV with sports car performance. No bells, no whistles, just design and performance perfected. Until June 30th, enjoy a $25,000 cash offer. A bold step toward electric without compromise. Yes, $25,000 on a Polestar 3. Visit Polestar Uptown Toronto or Polestar.com. Conditions apply.
Now the Dynamic Funds Weekend Business Report.
I'm Chris McCusker. Have you heard of an RDSP? If you haven't, you're not alone. It's a registered disability savings plan, and with the rate of disability in Canada on the rise, it's noteworthy that only a third of those who qualify have opened one. Sarah Kinnear is Director of Tax and Estate Planning at IG Wealth Management.
Similar to our RSPs, Registered Retirement Savings Plans, our ESPs, Education Savings Plans. So we got the RDSP, which is targeted for savings for a person who is disabled, and more specifically, someone who is eligible for and approved for the federal disability tax credit. You have to establish them before the end of the year in which the person with disabilities turns 59, but you can keep them for their lifetime.
So why get one?
The main advantage with an RDSP is that you get tax deferral, but more importantly, the government will contribute dollars to your plan by way of grants and bonds. And the grants are basically a match of sorts to how much you've contributed, whereas the bonds, you can just open the plan, and so long as your income level is sufficiently low, they will just feed the bond into there.
An estimated 8 million Canadians, or about a quarter of the population aged 15 and over, do have a disability. And with your weekend business report, I'm Chris McCusker.
Thanks to IKEA, my bedroom feels extra sleepy. These new blackout curtains keep it extra dark, and my new duvet keeps me extra cozy. But it also made my nighttime extra boring because the monster under my bed is sleeping better too. Hey, buddy, wake up. Hey.
Don't scare me like that. What are you trying to do to me? Jeez.
Visit IKEA today and start sleeping better tomorrow with everything you need for the bedroom of your dreams.
That doesn't sound good, especially with another hot summer on the way. To help get your home prepared, get a free AC checkup from an Enercare expert, a $99 value. And if it can't be fixed, you can get up to $7,000 in prepaid credit cards when you rent a new heat pump and furnace, installed as soon as the next day. Doesn't that sound better? Conditions apply. Visit enercare.ca.
Enercare, experts at home.
6 News time, 9:29. Time for Cottage Country traffic on the 9s. Here's Colette Desjardins.
Thanks, Irene. This report is brought to you by Gateway Casinos. Northbound 400 seeing a little bit of volume delays through Innisfil Beach Road, then again up in Barrie through Essa Road. If you're traveling right now on eastbound 401, it still looks great out to the 35-115 and to the Belleville area. Speaking of the 35-115, not seeing any delays up to Peterborough and the Kawartha Lakes, especially on Highway 35 up towards Minden. The drive was up to speed. With Cottage Country traffic on the 9s, I'm Colette Desjardins.
Head indoors for fun this weekend at Gateway Casino Innisfil, Casino Rama Resort, and Playtime Casino Wasaga Beach. Must be 19 plus. Play smart. Details at gatewaycasinos.com.
Right now, we've got lots of sunshine and 17 degrees. 680 news time. 9:30.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio, Toronto.
Good morning. It is Saturday, June the 14th. I'm John Leatherby.
And I'm Irene Precklett. Here's what's making news this hour.
Really nice day weather-wise as the Taste of Little Italy happening now along College. Your GTA events coming up.
The fighting and threats continue between Israel and Iran as both sides brace for retaliatory strikes.
Canada welcomes world leaders as the G7 summit gets underway tomorrow in Alberta.
A parade honoring the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army taking place in Washington, D.C. tonight as protests against the spectacle are planned worldwide.
Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals shifts to Edmonton with the Oilers and Panthers all tied. Plus, the Blue Jays continue their series in Philadelphia. We've got round 3 of the U.S. Open. Sports at 45.
680 News Time, 9:31.
Rogers Xfinity Internet traffic and weather together on the ones with Brandon DePont.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Irene and John. Looking at the drive right now, debris. This is eastbound 401, approaching Avenue in the Express. It's 2 left lanes, MTO just arriving on scene here. So you should expect an increased delay. It was getting a little bit better, but then MTO blocking out the center lane as well. So debris mostly in the far left lane, but just out of precaution, they're taking out the center lane as they work to clean this up. So that good news, even though it is causing a pretty massive delay, starting to at least. So delays right now basically from the Allen in the Express. Westbound 401, just getting word this being a stalled vehicle. So Mavis in the Collectors, right lane blocked there due to the stalled vehicle. But again, no real delay whatsoever. So shouldn't count very much of an issue, at least not as of yet. Then southbound 404 DVP getting much busier. South Lawrence to approaching Winford, lane realignment. So this delay is right now extending all the way back. This is from from Shepherd, a little bit south of it actually. Then the ramp to Bayview Bloor, that's partially blocked due to a disabled vehicle, and that again, disabled vehicle causing a pretty big jam up. This backing up drivers from Don Mills, possibly a little bit of a visual distraction, and then as well just clogging up that ramp lane, which then becomes obviously the right lane there. So again, that not helping out drivers. And then if you're on the eastbound Gardner, expect delays from east of Humber Bridge, and then westbound Gardner, delays begin from approaching Spadina. Also keep in mind, got large portion of the lakeshore closed, so that's certainly not helping drivers and limiting their options. It's now a good time to buy investment real estate. Yes, at the Simple Investor, they make sure you get rent every month, have no tenant interaction, no repair costs. Find out more at thesimpleinvestor.com. Time for the forecast. Here's Carl Lamb.
Lots of sunshine today across the GTA, and that easterly wind, it's out of the northeast right now. It's kind of shifting in between east and northeast, but it's around 15 kilometers per hour, gusting to about 30. So a fresh breeze out there, shall we say, and 22 for the guaranteed high today. And then tonight, it's partly cloudy and overnight low on the way of 12 degrees. Right now, it's 17 and mainly sunny. Your guaranteed high is 22.
680 News Time, 9:33.
The busy weekend of events in the Greater Toronto Area kicking off this morning with thousands taking part in the Under Armour 10K race. Lots to enjoy by way of culture and food along College Street. More on that in just a moment. On the waterfront, 680, a weather front that is, 680 meteorologist Carl Lamb says no need to bring an umbrella today.
Recently, it's been very wet on the weekends especially, but it's a real treat to have a quiet, dry weekend across the GTA for all those outdoor activities and events. We will have temperatures today getting up into the low 20s. The only thing you really have to contend with today is an easterly wind that may gust up to about 40 kilometers per hour.
And make sure to bring the sunscreen if you're heading outside. We do have the Taste of Little Italy among the events happening. That's on College Street. We also have the Dragon Boat Festival, the Beaches Rib Fest, North by Northeast. The complete list of weekend events, which is a long one, is at toronto.citynews.ca.
Whether it's because of races or the festivals, drivers will be feeling some extra frustration this weekend. A bunch of major city street closures. 680's Brandon DuPont with more.
On top of battle